Hi everyone, once more welcome to Vin's English lesson. I am Vincent. In today's lesson we are going with the noun clause, which is the third major form of the noun as a part of speech, and today it is the fifth part of the lesson, the noun, the part of speech, and specifically we are going with the noun clause. We are going to look at the noun clause in today's video, and we are going to go little deeper into it to understand more about the noun clause. Now, what is a noun clause and what is the function of the noun clause? We'll know all that in today's video. We'll look at some examples that can help us to understand how to build the noun clause or how to use it and when to use it. So before starting the lesson, we should know what is a clause. Now clause is a collection of words that must contain a subject and a verb, and every sentence has at least one independent clause. Now independent clause and dependent clause, I'll make a separate video on those clauses. Today we are going with the noun clause. We'll understand about the noun clause. The noun clause is the dependent clause. Now, though it has the subject and verb, but it can't stand alone. It is a part of a sentence which contains an independent clause, or it can be a part of an independent clause. We'll see that in a moment. Now, independent clause or coordinate clause, both same. In the language of grammar, we call it coordinate clause, and dependent clause is known as subordinate clause. And the simple way is English, we can call them as independent or dependent clause. Okay. So first we'll understand about the uses of the noun clause. Now, like a noun, the noun clause also has the same function. Now before this I made a video on the functions of noun. The noun can be a subject in a sentence, it can be the objects, or it can be the subject complement. So same functions the noun clause also has in a sentence. Now we are going with the 5 main uses. Actually there are 6. The 6th one is the adjective complement. We can use the noun clause to form an adjective complement. Now adjective, it is one of the part of speech. When we are going with the adjective in the part of speech, we'll understand about the adjective complement. Okay, in today's lesson I am not going to mix the adjective complement. We are going with the 5 main uses of the noun clause. Now noun clause can function as a subject in a sentence. It can be the direct or indirect object, or the object of preposition and subject complement. We'll look at some examples to understand all these functions more better in a moment. Now before that we'll go with some conjunctions. Now what is conjunction? Conjunction also is a part of speech. Conjunction is a word which can join 2 words or join 2 different sentences and make it one. Okay, so conjunction also is a different lesson which will be a different video lesson entirely. So today I have some conjunctions. These conjunctions can begin a noun clause or they can join a noun clause to its independent clause. There are many more conjunctions but I didn't bring all of them. I have some in today's lesson. These are the common conjunctions which are used with the noun clause. Now as a subject, some conjunctions can perform as a subject in the noun clause, like what, who, which, whatever, whoever, whichever. These conjunctions can be a subject in a noun clause. Okay. On the other hand, there are when, where, how, why, whom, whether, if, whenever. These conjunctions, they can form the noun clause or they can join the noun clause to another clause or another words. So now you have to notice all these conjunctions, they are the question words. What, who, which, these all conjunctions, they are the question word. These are the WH words which are known as question words. So you have to keep in mind when we are using these conjunctions with the noun clause, in that case they are not a question word, they are just a conjunction that is forming a noun clause. Okay, so we are going to look all those things in today's lesson. So now we'll see how to use the noun clause and when to use it. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so first we are going with the subject. We'll see the noun clause functioning as a subject in a sentence. We have an example. What you said before was unbelievable. Okay, here we have a conjunction. Here we have the subject and here we have the verb. Now in this sentence I have two verbs, said and was. Now keep in mind, in every sentence one tense verb will have one subject. In this sentence I have two verbs. Now for this verb I got the subject you. Now what can be the subject for this verb? Was. Can it be before? No. So this whole group of words, now this is the noun clause, and this whole group is working as a subject towards this verb was. Now we got the whole structure, it is correct. We got the subject verb in the clause and we got the subject and verb. This is the object unbelievable. Now the sentence is completed. What you said before was unbelievable. What was unbelievable? What you said before. So this is the way to use the noun clause as a subject in a sentence. Now before this I mentioned that these conjunction, these question words, now you must be aware of it. This word, now it is not a question word, it is a conjunction towards this noun clause. Now how to know if this sentence is a question word or not? It is very simple. There are two easy ways to recognize the sentence, if it is a question sentence or not. Now as in the question sentence, you will always see the verb will be before the subject. Now in this case the subject is before the verb, it is opposite, means this is not the question sentence. And the second easiest way is to understand, if we have the question word in a sentence and if that sentence is a question sentence, we are going to have the question mark at the end, but there is no question mark. That means this word, this is not functioning as a question word, but it is a conjunction in this noun clause. What you said before. Okay, keep that in mind. I have another example, you will know in that more better. Sophie asked her mother what we are having for dinner tonight. Okay, so now this is the conjunction, the subject, this is the verb, and this is the adverb, this is the object. Now this whole group of words is the noun clause. Okay, in this case also you can see the question word, it is a question word, but you can see the subject is before the verb. Okay, but in the question sentence you will see the verb before the subject, and the question sentence will always have a question mark. Okay, this was just to know how to recognize the sentence, if it is a question sentence or not, because sometimes we get confused by seeing these question word in a sentence. Okay, so remember, they are question words, but when they are used in noun clause, they are not a question word, they are functioning as a conjunction. Okay, so now we are going with the second use of the noun clause. We are going to see it as the direct object. The students wanted to know who the new teacher was. Okay, this is the conjunction, this is the subject, the new teacher, and this is the verb. Now this whole group of words, that is the noun clause, and in this sentence this is the direct object, it is the direct object for this verb. This is the subject, the students is the subject, and the verb is wanted to know. Now in this sentence, this noun clause, who the new teacher was, it is a direct object to this verb. This is the verb wanted to know. This is the verb for this sentence, and this is the subject. The students wanted to know what, who the new teacher was. This is the direct object to this verb, wanted to know. Okay, so there are three more uses. We are going to see that in a moment. Okay, so now we'll go with the next use of the noun clause. We are going to see the noun clause as an indirect object in the sentence. He offered whoever joined the event a big discount. Okay, so now if you are like confused or not sure of the noun clause in a sentence, the best way is to find the verb, and not all the verb, you must go with the tense verbs. Now if you get the tense verbs, it will be very easy for you to know the noun clause in a sentence. We got the verb, first verb is offered and the second verb is joined. Okay, now this is the verb and this is the subject. He offered what? A big discount. To whom? Whoever joined the event. Now this is our subject, this is the verb, and this whole group of word is now the indirect object. Whoever joined the event, to them he offered a big discount. This is the object, direct object. Okay, so whoever, it can be a subject also in a noun clause. Now whoever, it is a conjunction, but in this sentence it is working as a subject. The subject of this noun clause is whoever. Okay, so we got the S, V and O, means subject, verb and object. Okay, now we'll go with the next one. In this we are going to see the object of the preposition. I am surprised by how faster you have understood the noun clause. Very good. I am surprised. Till here now you have come to know much more about noun clause. I am surprised of that. Okay, so this is the subject, I. This is the verb, object. Then we have the preposition by, and this is the conjunction how. Now this whole group is known as the object. How faster you have understood the noun clause. Okay, so now this noun clause, it is the object of the preposition by. I am surprised of what? How faster you have understood the noun clause. Okay, so this is the pattern of SVP, subject, verb, preposition. Okay, so I hope you understood about the noun clause. So far so good. Now we'll go with the next use of the noun clause. In some sentences, sometimes the noun clause are the subject and the object. So we'll see that also in a moment. So let's go into it. Okay, so now we'll go with the fifth use of the noun clause. This is the last one. We are going to see the noun clause as the subject complement in this sentence. So we have the example. The shopping center isn't what I call expensive. Okay, the shopping center is the subject. We have a verb. What is the conjunction? Then we have the subject, verb, and this is the object. So this whole group of word is known as noun clause, and this is the complement to the subject, the shopping center. The complement is letting us to know more about the subject, shopping center. What is not I call expensive is the shopping center. Okay, so the noun clause can be as a complement in a sentence, subject complement. So now this is known as SVC, subject verb complement. We have the verb is, and the subject is the shopping center for this verb is. We have another verb call, and the subject is I for this verb. Okay, so I wanted to give you an extra information about the noun clause. Now in some sentences we can use the noun clause as a subject and object. Now we'll see this example, you will know what I mean to say. Whatever looks like a problem, this is the noun clause, this is the conjunction, verb, and this is the object. Is, we have the verb. Now this verb is for the subject. The verb of this subject is this one, is. Okay, then we have the object. What worries me, this is the object. This is the object and this is the subject. Okay, so there are two clauses, two noun clauses, and both are in a sentence and they are working as a subject and object. So by using one or two or more clauses in a sentence, you can give varieties to your writing while using these noun clause. Okay, so I hope you understood about the noun clause. Okay, so this was for today. I hope this lesson is going to be very helpful to all of you. And if you liked the video, give me a like and don't forget to subscribe my channel. If you haven't yet subscribed my channel, go and subscribe it. You can ring that bell also to know about my future video. You can also share this video with your friends and relatives. And if you have any suggestions or question on today's lesson, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be happy answering them for you. And come again for more these kinds of lesson which can improve your English, or you can learn more better English. So until then, bye bye, take care.